Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Savannah Chrisley notes Todd's ironic prison activity. Savannah Chrisley seldom dishes good news about Todd and Julie Chrisley, but after unexpected great news arrived, she described her dad's activities as ironic. What's going on with the Chrisley Knows Best patriarch? Read on to find out. Savannah Chrisley finds something to celebrate. Todd and Julie are serving a combined sentence of 19 years, which Chrisley Knows Best fans think seems very harsh. While their daughter and their son, Chase, routinely share horror stories about prison conditions, occasionally good news comes out. Admittedly, the good news seems few and far between. But with legal issues, everything seems to take forever to happen. Savannah Chrisley found a reason to celebrate when news arrived that both Todd and Julie received reductions in their sentences. Admittedly, the 2 years less for her dad and 1.5 years for Julie still means a long wait before they go home. But it's better than no good news. In fact, the reduction came because they participated in the First Step Act program to reduce time. Savannah Chrisley reveals ironic news about her father. On her Unlocked podcast, the Chrisley Knows Best alum often details what's happening with Todd and Julie. People magazine noted that in a recent episode, the reality TV star explained that both parents teach and take courses to earn their sentence reductions. Julie teaches things like real estate. Obviously, because she qualified and knows the industry well, Julie probably did really well. However, Savannah Chrisley thinks that it really seems ironic when it comes to her father. She said, "Dad's definitely taught some classes too." And she mentioned a trauma class. Nevertheless, it was another one she recalled that made her eyebrows rise. She said, "I think another one was a financial class, which is, how ironic." In the video below, you can see where Savannah Chrisley talked about her dad's ironic teaching activity from the 35 clock mark. People who saw the entire podcast talked about the impact of Todd and Julie's imprisonment on the lives of the kids. One of them said, "Savannah, I think you are doing an amazing job with the kid and everything that is going on." Meanwhile, another admirer wrote, "Your parents do not deserve to be locked up in prison. Look at how well you turned out to be based on how they raised you. Look at you. You are raising your siblings on your own. Not because you want to, but because you didn't have a choice." Savannah Chrisley leaned against the kitchen island in her Nashville home, her phone buzzing with notifications as fans continued to react to her latest podcast episode. She took a sip of lukewarm coffee and chuckled under her breath, replaying in her mind the words she'd shared about her father's surprisingly ironic life behind bars. "Who would have thought?" she had said, shaking her head in disbelief. "My dad, Todd freaking Chrisley, says he's never felt more free in federal prison." The irony wasn't lost on Savannah. The man who once thrived on luxury, Chanel loafers, and micromanaging his family's wardrobe had apparently found a sense of peace within 4 cinder block walls, a plastic mattress, and a schedule dictated by a buzzer. And yet, despite the absurdity of it, she couldn't help but believe him. "Dad wakes up at 4:30 a.m. now," she revealed during the recording, her voice bouncing between sarcastic and sincere. "He's become this almost Zen version of himself. He walks laps, meditates, prays. He's like a spiritual life coach now for inmates." Todd's prison activity had become a regular topic in their family group chats, though half the time Savannah wasn't sure if she was reading about her father or a parody version of him. Julie, her mother, currently incarcerated at a separate facility, had even quipped in a recent letter, "Your father finally discovered minimalism, thanks to the Bureau of Prisons." According to Savannah, Todd had taken on a self-appointed role as a faith mentor in prison. He held nightly devotionals in the common room where a handful of inmates gathered around him like disciples around a campfire, listening to him quote scripture and offer emotional guidance. "He told me the other day that he's counseling a guy who used to be a mob enforcer," Savannah said with a grin. Dad said, "Savannah, you'd love him. He reminds me of Nanny Faye when she's mad intense, but with a good heart. It was ironic, hilariously so. Todd Chrisley, the man once infamous for his extravagant lifestyle, designer labels, and sharp-tongued confessional interviews on Chrisley Knows Best, had somehow transformed into a prison him a few weeks earlier, and what she saw left her in awe. He looked lighter, she admitted. Not physically, though he did lose weight. I mean spiritually. He's not angry anymore. Not constantly stressed. He said something that really stuck with me. He said, "Savannah, out here I had everything, but I was trapped by it. In here, I have nothing, but I feel like I've been released." And yet, the man hadn't lost his flair for the dramatic. Savannah recalled him walking into the visitation room with a rolled-up piece of paper in hand. He'd written a sermon, yes, a full-on sermon, entitled Chains That Set You Free. He handed it to her like it was an Emmy submission. "I rolled my eyes so hard I saw my childhood," Savannah laughed. "But then I read it. And, damn, it was actually powerful." In the sermon, Todd had written about ego, identity, and how much time he had wasted obsessing over what other people thought. He described his cell as a monk's chamber, his uniform as a reminder that status means nothing when your soul is bankrupt, and his inmate number as a symbol that he belongs to God now, not the world. "It's deep," Savannah admitted to her listeners. "It's weirdly deep." Back at home, she was trying to take his words to heart. Managing closed school schedule, dealing with public scrutiny, launching her beauty brand, and fighting for her parents' appeals, life hadn't slowed down. But she found herself repeating Todd's newfound motto, "Let go or be dragged." "He writes letters to Chloe," Savannah added softly. "And they're so different from the stuff he used to say on camera. He tells her about forgiveness, humility, faith. It's like he's parenting with a pen now." Still, there were moments that reminded her that Todd Chrisley would always be Todd Chrisley, no matter how enlightened he became. "One time, he asked me to send him a very specific brand of tea," she said, rolling her eyes. "He's all minimalism and spiritual awakening, but only if he's sipping organic lemon balm from a biodegradable sachet." Savannah couldn't help but laugh. Her dad had also requested a copy of Vogue, citing that even a prison library needed culture. He said, and I quote, "If I'm going to be reborn, I might as well be reborn fabulous," she said, mimicking his signature sass. But beneath the jokes and contradictions, Savannah sensed that her father's transformation was real. Prison had stripped him of control, comfort, and status. But somehow, it had given him something he never had before, clarity. "He's not perfect," she said. "He's still bossy as hell. Still thinks he can control my dating life from inside a federal facility. But he's learning, growing. It's ironic, that the place that took his freedom may be the only place he's ever truly found it." She paused, then looked up from her podcast notes. "Maybe," she added quietly, "we all need a little stillness to hear the truth about ourselves." As she ended her recording, Savannah's eyes flicked to the stack of letters on her desk, each one penned in her father's looping cursive, some peppered with scripture, others with jokes. One of them, written the night before his birthday, simply said,